What's up guys, Big Rob here with the DIY Church Tech channel with another technology video for you. Mr. Mac here bought himself a Electrovoice Evolve 30M. If you don't know what this is, you can see here on the box, it is an entire PA system in one little thingamajig here. It's one of these new column setups. It has a 12-channel digital mixer built into it. Believe it or not, this is the second one we've had. The first one we bought lasted, about 30 minutes? And it let the smoke out. So we took it back and they said that hardly ever happens. I believe it because there hasn't really been a lot of negative press on this unit. Everybody who buys one absolutely loves it. So we're gonna do you guys an unboxing video here to show you exactly what the Evolve 30M is. So first off, it's Electrovoice. This is a high quality, top tier product. So the packaging is going to be like so. So first thing is you actually get a nice little carrying case for this. It provides you with a power cord, obviously standard IEC cable, and then a bag. Now this is pretty neat. It doesn't actually hold the subwoofer, but it does hold the column array and the speaker pole. So when we get all this out of here, show you how this goes in the bag. We're also going to show you how the system sets up. So you'll have a really good idea of what the system's about by the time we're done. Of course, you have the manuals here, and then in this is the actual column. And this is what the system is made up of. So you've got two poles here, and they are not interchangeable. I'll show you that when we get these all the way out. And then this right here, did this the last time.
One eternity later.
All right, we got it all unpacked. Everything's in the bag. So this is how you're gonna be setting it up when you get to your gig. The bag here is really nice, has room for some microphones, power cable, and then of course the main array and your column speakers here. They all fit there in the bag nice and neat, and it makes it nice and easy for you to pull it. And if you opt for the trolley, which is the big case that this can sit in with wheels on it, the trolley has a spot for this bag to sit in the back of it nice and neat. So assembling it's really easy. The poles are all different. So the bottom pole, of course, has this that fits into the actual subwoofer base, and then has this part on the top that accepts for the middle pole. So it's magnetic. It feels really good. It just snaps in there. And once it's in there, it takes a little bit of force to get it out. So it's not going to fall over. That's the problem with some of these other column speakers, is that once they're assembled, they are a little fragile. The next one here, it's really easy. This part fits into this pole. This receptacle is the female, this is the male. So it slides right in there like so. And then the last section here is the actual speaker. And this is kind of neat. This actually has a built-in handle. So you just grab it like this and you assemble it up on top here. And it just sits right up on the top. And there you go. I assembled the entire system sitting on my butt on the sofa. I don't know of another PA system that you could assemble that easily. So it's done. I mean, literally, this is it. There's no speaker cables to plug into. Obviously, you got to power it, so you plug it into the wall. And then from there, everything is done on your iOS or your Android device. You can stream Bluetooth to it. You can control it, run the mixer. You got your guitars, your microphones plugged into it. Everything is handled through the iOS device. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get a microphone plugged into it. We're going to get the iOS device hooked up to it. And we're going to show you guys how the main setup works. All right, so we've updated the firmware and we've got the thing connected. The first thing you're going to do when you connect is you're going to go to your Bluetooth here on your phone, whatever your device is, whether it be an Android or an iPhone, and you're going to try to find the Evolve on your Bluetooth that is here. This one is Evolve 30M 91EF. From there, you go to the Quick Smart app. You will refresh your list here. It will say finding speakers. You'll select the speaker you want to connect to. It'll be red under Evolve. Hit apply. It will go through a process of linking to the speaker, transcribing settings, applying settings, blah, blah, blah. The first time you connect to it, it takes it about 1.5 minutes to connect. If you're going to be performing with this and need to access the mixer or the settings relatively a lot, I would say this needs to stay open and up on your phone. I'd almost go to say that you need a dedicated device to control this unit. Because when it disconnects, it is kind of annoying waiting on it to reconnect and then having to, wait to make your changes. So there's two sections to this. There is the speaker section. So you have your subwoofer level, bass, mid, and treb. Of course, the master volume of the unit here. And then a master mute to mute the entire thing. Now, where this really shines and changes itself is you have a full-blown mixer here. So you can either run the mixer in vertical mode or you can put it in landscape mode, and you can control it like you would any other mixer. And you tap on here and each one of your main inputs here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mono inputs, 1 stereo input, your Bluetooth, and then your main level. So each one of these has this full control. You have a compressor, you have a 3-band EQ, so bass, mid, and high. You have your first effect send, which is going to be things like reverbs, delays. Second effect sends like choruses and flangers, stuff like that. Then an aux. So you can actually plug a stage monitor into this, have a full separate auxiliary mix on this unit. So that completely removes the need to have a secondary mixer plugged into the back of this, unless you just have to have the feel of moving faders up and down on the thing. So let's come over here and look at the main master section. So this is the master. Anytime you need to change something on this mixer, so you need to say turn the volume up and down for like this microphone here, for example, you tap the parameter you want to change, and then this little dial over here is what lets you change this. You can't actually tap here and move here. You have to tap what you're changing and then move it up and down like that. Now, if you're on the main mixer, obviously you just tap it and move each channel like that. You have full mute, so you can mute each channel if need be. And right now, we have our phone Bluetooth into this thing, so we can unmute our phone. And you can see we have music. Now on our Bluetooth as well, we have full control. So we have a 3-band EQ. And we have mute selection on that as well. On our stereo inputs, we don't have a compressor, but we do have the ability to run to the reverb. So if you had a stereo keyboard, for say, you could plug your stereo keyboard in. Let me turn this off so I'm not fighting over it. So if you had a stereo keyboard, you could plug your stereo keyboard into number 5. One thing to note about this mixer is you'll notice there are no gain knobs. So this is actually the gain control. So when you're adjusting this here, you are actually adjusting the gain of the channel itself. So I have this SM58 hooked up on number 1, and I can gain it up here, and you can hear that I'm now talking through that system here. And you can hear me coming out of the line array there. And if you want more reverb, we can dial in some really nice thick reverb. We can turn the reverb down some. Speaking of reverb, let's go play around with the reverb here and see what the effect sounds like. So on the mixer, you have your effects, and you click on the effect you want to change. So on effect number 1. So there's just a lot of different effects here. And as you click on the effects, you can see on effects 1, it shows you how much of a send is there. So we're in our main, we're at 16 dB. We go to effects number 1, we're at negative 12 dB. So I can adjust that reverb on that right there. You have reverb long. We have reverb room. We have reverb concert hall. We have reverb long haul. And the reverb on this unit actually sounds pretty good for being a built-in system. It is this Dynacord mixer here, so it is pretty good. Now, there isn't a lot of change, I'd say, between the reverbs. They all kind of sort of sound the same. I mean, there's differences to them, but a lot of the long reverbs just kind of sound the same. That's kind of a really muted, dark reverb there. So there's a lot of these here. I think there's, let's see, how many are there? You have 22 reverbs on this system. So there's a lot to choose from. There's even some combos. So if you wanted to do now batting, there's a soft reverb. So just a lot of different things there. And then, of course, you have two effects engines. So that's effects engine number 1. We will turn effects 1 off. Let's go over to number 2. And we have a chorus over there. So that's what the chorus sounds like. We have a chorus medium, chorus fast, chorus plus echo, jet flanger. That's kind of interesting. Double narrow, double medium, double wide. So that's doubling vocals, and then off. So effects 2 only has 8 on it. So effects 1 definitely has way more things to play with. And I'm pretty impressed with the way this thing works. I don't know when you want that much reverb ever. But like I said, you have a really nice little mixer here. This thing says it can get up to 123 decibels. I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't think it would ever sound really that good at 123 decibels, but it's a pretty stout little rig, and especially for, 5 or 6 years ago, you would have to have a mixer, 2 speakers on the stands, plus the sub to have this kind of a unit. And so for the price point, $12.99 retail, you get them cheaper than that other places if you have some wholesale deals you can work. It's a really good setup. Is it expensive? Yes. I'm going to stop talking to the microphone like an idiot. Is it expensive? Yes, it's expensive. I mean, you're talking about spending with tax $1,400 for one piece of gear. I mean, it's a sub and a small top up there. But what it accomplishes and what it can do is phenomenal. It's a full-blown, like I said, full-blown dynacord mixer in the back with full effects. You've got a full GEQ here. I don't think we showed that on the main band here. If we go to Edit Mixer Main, there's a full-blown graphic EQ there. So it has a lot of features. Who would use this? Now, we're going to use this for karaoke. So 2 microphones, a laptop plugged into it, and then our phone on Bluetooth. And this is going to handle, I think it'll handle 100, 150 people before you need to add a second unit in. Traveling musicians that are doing coffee shops, singer-songwriters, anybody who's doing like restaurant gigs, this is going to be perfect for it. Even, I venture to say, bands. A couple of these might be able to handle a 4-piece rock band with no problem. So all in all, so far, even though the first one we got had an issue and had to be returned, I'm very, very optimistic about this unit. The only other unit I was interested in, besides this one, you can show more of the speaker instead of me while I'm talking.
I've been showing it.
The only other unit I was interested in besides this was the JBL PRX1. And I didn't buy the PRX1 because I could never get my phone to connect to the PRX1. And I was really disappointed because the PRX1 I feel has more features and a better app. But if you can never get the app to work, then what's the point of spending the money on the unit? So I'm going to give a review on this after I first use it. So we're talking in a couple of weeks here. I should have my first video up of me using it. And thank you for sticking through this entire video. I hope this was a comprehensive video. When I was searching for the speaker, I had a really hard time finding a video that actually showed everything that it did. So here at the end, I'm going to take a few minutes. We're going to play some copyright-free music to give you guys an idea of what it sounds like. Obviously, this is being recorded on the iPhone 13 Pro. Depends on what kind of speaker you're listening to. Give you an idea. It might sound like crap on your computer. It might sound great on your computer. But I'm going to provide the content so you can use your own brain, figure it out on your own. Thanks for watching the channel. Subscribe. See you later.